This is the site of Nemesis the Ride. Now, for the technically minded, it is a multi-inversion suspended roller coaster. But for the rest of you, it's just designed to scare you.
John's new ride will have the smoothest curves ever. Now, that doesn't sound too impressive, but if you really want to terrify people, a smooth track is crucial. You see, at high speed, the slightest kink can cause a sudden jolt and severe whiplash. However, a secret ultra-smooth track curving process means that John will be able to safely drop, spin and tumble his victims with tremendous force.
Now, the ride starts there and goes up in that direction, right up to the treetops, turns, comes down here, does an upside-down corkscrew under the monorail there, back down through that hole and up over the top of the station where it does a zero-G roll and turns upside down. Back down there and then climbs up to the top of those trees where it does a stall turn, drops back down again to the bottom of this hole, does a vertical loop through a tunnel, out of the tunnel there, does another corkscrew over there, into another underground tunnel under the station, another stall turn, and back into the station. Wow!
Nemesis, that sounds like it. The ultimate thrill ride sensation, sighted in the depths of a 30-metre hole.
Nemesis's creator is John Wardley, famous for his feature film special effects.
You can't be serious!
You're hanging from the track, which means when you go through all the loops and the corkscrews, you're on the outside of the track, so your feet are flying through space. And you're not in a car, you're just dangling. Once you got to the top and you start running downhill, you're just in the hands of gravity. There's no brakes, no motors, not until you get back into the station, you're back in control.
Now we're getting faster and faster through a helix, and into a zero-G roll. Oh, wow, still. And now down through a vertical loop, upside down into a tunnel. Wow, you really think your feet are going to crack against the rock? Now into another barrel roll, down and into another tunnel. Wow, and into the station. I invented this thing and I'm supposed to be impervious to this kind of thing, but that was the most sensational thing I've ever done.
Escape to another world. Experience the thrills. Surprise yourself with your own laughter. Relax in stunning surroundings. This is all part of Britain's most magical experience, Alton Towers. And now, from the park that brought you, Katanga Canyon, the runaway mine train, and the haunted house. Comes the ultimate thrill ride sensation. A sensation to take you to the edge of your seat and the limit of your senses. It started as a routine excavation, but what was discovered was far from routine.
It was found on site by one of the workers. We thought it might mean something.
Yes, it does. It's a warning. Our earliest record is 700 years old, but the inscriptions indicate events which possibly precede 1,000 years BC. Analysis of the text reveals some form of cult worship, where local populations were hypnotized and drawn trance-like to a specific site. The site was almost certainly the home of a life form. An alien life form. Leaders of the people would chant the incantation here This was intended to evoke the creature to appear before them.
And what would happen when the creature appeared?
It would feed.
Nemesis. Hidden, it slept. Disturbed, it awoke. And once awoken, it fed.
Well, make no bones about it. I see Nemesis as the Jurassic Park of 1994, and I've got £5 million that is going to make sure that nobody can move or hear anything without finding out about Nemesis and the other new rides at Alton Towers. In 1993, we spent £4 million on the Land of Make-Believe. That was always just phase 1 of the development. Phase 2 comes next year with the opening of Toyland Tours, which is a £2 million fabulous new dark ride. We intend everybody in the UK to hear nothing else but Alton Towers next year.
Wow!
Please remain standing. A public announcement from the Phalanx regarding Nemesis to follow.
By order of the Phalanx, as you may or may not be aware, Nemesis is closing due to her abnormal behavior.
My name's John Wardley, and I was the original designer of Nemesis, the very first person ever to ride around the track. And tonight, Nemesis will be closing for 18 months for a major refurbishment, and I have the honour of being on the last ride as well as the first ride. So today we've been talking to all the fans that have turned out for Nemesis's last ride, and I can't believe how important it is to some people. They can remember it as children, and they've come up to me and thanked me for designing it and saying that it's something that means an awful lot to them. But Nemesis has now covered about 1.5 million miles, which is a long, long way. 45 million people have ridden Nemesis since I first rode it way back in 1994. So we thought it was time to give Nemesis a bit of a break. As far as I'm concerned, it's the start of the next 30 years of Nemesis's life.
False information has been seen. I can assure you that everything is as it should be and is completely under control.
You are under surveillance. You are under surveillance. You are under surveillance. You are under surveillance.
Renal modification energized. Nemesis DNA extraction engaged. Alert. High pressure. Alert. High pressure. Warning. Containment breach. Containment breach.
After 18 months in hibernation, today one of the world's favourite roller coasters roared back into life. Nemesis has been completely rebuilt and taken on a brand new look, and after a year and a half of hard work, many of those involved gathered to watch as the cars took to the track for the very first time.
It feels absolutely incredible. I mean, what a milestone to be here today to actually see it. So it was so incredibly important for us to bring it back to Nemesis Reborn and to give it new life for generations, for new generations of thrill seekers that are going to come to the park.
As someone who grew up with Nemesis, is passionate about both the nostalgia of it, but also the future of bringing it back to life, having Nemesis Reborn for the 2024 season. I'm super proud to be part of that and to also make sure that I put my utmost into delivering the best it can possibly be.
Well, the entire track of Nemesis is absolutely brand new, and so are the cars as well, although a tiny bit of the old ones have been recycled in them. As for the testing, well, that will now continue until Nemesis reopens to the public later this year.
Still a favorite.